guys, welcome to What's in the Box with Jen. Another exciting episode on the show. Today we are going to be unboxing and I'll be giving you my first impressions of the new 14-inch maxed out M1 Max MacBook Pro. Gosh, that's very difficult to say. This laptop is an absolute beast. It cost over $6,000, but thank God I didn't have to pay for it. So on that note, let's go ahead with the unboxing. It has the new M1 Max Apple Silicon chip, a massive 10-core CPU, 32-core GPU, and 64 gig of RAM. I opted to go all out on every spec except the SSD storage. This Mac has 2 terabytes of internal SSD storage, and I didn't think that it was worth the extra $2,000 to max it out. Okay guys, so my first impressions. It's definitely a lot thicker than my previous model, but that's not a con. I actually don't mind it. It reminds me of the old school white MacBooks from back in the day. The larger display is great and the bezels are super slim. I find the MagSafe charger fantastic. The battery on the new Mac is amazing. I have been doing some video editing and exporting videos on battery power and it's been working like a dream. I can go all day without having to charge it depending on what I'm doing. However, while video editing on a full charge, I can go 5 hours pretty easily. Another reason why the MagSafe charger is great is because I sometimes felt that the USB-C cable would pop out and I wouldn't even notice. So my battery would be draining the entire time. But the magnetic connection is definitely a welcomed addition on the new laptops. Charging the laptop was super quick with both the MagSafe chargers and the USB-C chargers. I got a full charge from below 10% battery all the way up to 100% in just over an hour and 15 minutes. Using the MagSafe charger from 10% battery, I got to 50% in just 20 minutes, which is absolutely fantastic. I never personally had any issues with the Touch ID on the previous model, so I'm really happy that they've introduced it and kept it on this model. I'm finding that it is quicker on the new MacBook Pro. It's placed in the right top hand corner of the keyboard and it blends in nicely with the black design. Speaking of the keyboard, I like the buttons on this keyboard. My previous MacBook Pro had the butterfly keys and I had to replace them twice in the span of 4 years that I owned it. This new keyboard has better travel. It's not a full mechanical keyboard as Apple might want you to believe, but overall, it definitely feels like a mechanical keyboard if you have gotten used to the butterfly keys from the previous generation. It's definitely no Logitech keyboard, just like this one. And if you want to see a keyboard unboxing and review, there will be a link in the description. This keyboard is amazing. The touch bar is gone on the new models. And to be honest, I never really used it. Forced to use it to control the sounds on my laptop, but it felt slower and sometimes a little bit unresponsive. So I'm actually glad that it's gone. I don't think I'll miss it. The function keys are back, but I would have loved some programmable macro keys, just like the Logitech keyboard provides. But hey, it's a $6,000 laptop. Apple couldn't do everything, could they? Being a uni student and a content creator, I hated how many dongles I needed in my backpack. Connecting presentations via HDMI now is super sweet. I love that this is incorporated into the laptop and the SD card slot is also really good value. As I film everything on SD cards, this is super handy when wanting to transfer files. The trackpad is definitely smaller than the previous generation, but I actually don't mind it. You can't actually tell unless you're comparing them side by side. It is without a doubt one of the best features that separates the Macs from other laptops. The webcam on the new Mac is fantastic. For comparison, here is some footage from my old MacBook, which had a 720p camera. Now this camera has pretty poor lighting, like you would definitely have to be in a well-lit room. So this is what I look like, and if I try and move in a little bit closer, I mean the footage is pretty natural, doesn't seem to have any filters or anything on it. So it works, and it did work for me for 4 years, so I was happy with that. Here is some footage from my new MacBook that has 1080p camera. Now this camera has fantastic lighting, like you could be in a really dimly lit room and I think it would still capture really good lighting. So my face is really lit up and so is my surroundings. However, my only comment would be is that it adds a little bit of a filter to your face. So if I just zoom in, it just enhances my features. Like I feel like I'm wearing foundation and some makeup with it, or even if you were, it would just enhance that feature or just sort of dial down your blemishes a little bit. So that might work for everyone, but not for others. So it's not really a negative and it's not really a positive. All in all, I'm super happy with the camera quality, and I would definitely use this for my Zoom meetings or anything else that I needed to. I absolutely love everything about this laptop. The speed is incredible. I rendered a 30-second video in After Effects with some special effects, color correction, and camera tracking on my Intel laptop, and it did it in about 20 seconds. I used the same project file and rendered it in the new Apple Mac Silicon chip, and it rendered almost instantly, taking just a couple of seconds. Although I love my new laptop, it's not all amazing. I've had a couple of software issues which have come up. I had a lot of issues using my Samsung T5 external SSD. So for me, I had all of my backup files stored on here, so I needed this to work. It wasn't something that I was just gonna let go. Something that I did notice was that the hard drive would work if I plugged it into a dock, but it wouldn't work if I plugged it directly into the laptop. A friend of mine actually suggested that I purchase a new cable, which was a Gen 2 3.1 USB cable. I purchased 2 of these cables from Amazon, and voila! That solved the issue with my hard drive. So if you have any issues with your hard drives not mounting or showing up on your new Macs, purchase one of these cables from Amazon, and you can find those links in the description. Other issues I've had have all been software related. These are widespread problems as they are documented on numerous websites reported by many people. I've had problems with the Wi-Fi not connecting to no networks, programs like Final Cut Pro crashing, problems with audio output, problems with Bluetooth including my AirPods not connecting properly, and the SD card reader not being able to read my SD cards properly. These are just a few of the issues I have encountered. One of them by themselves isn't enough to ruin the experience, but when you add them all together, it's just a bit of a letdown. Overall though, I'm super happy with this laptop. It really is a beast. I ran some Geekbench scores, and although I didn't understand half of the info in there, those numbers looked quite high. All I can say is that this computer is allowing me to do video editing at insane speeds, and all while on battery. I really want to test it out with some 3D rendering later this year. I want to see how this laptop fares with that because my Intel-based MacBook Pro struggled with programs like Cinema 4D and Unreal Engine. Thanks for watching guys, I hope you liked this video. Please let me know your thoughts and opinions below. Don't forget to comment and subscribe and share me with your friends.